जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। प्लीज रिपीट। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We can chant the prayers together. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyamadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Okay, we're continuing with the reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is Canto 6, Chapter 18, titled Diti Vows to Kill King Indra. And this section we're going to do is from text 43 through 64. Thank you. Prasad is still Prasad, na?
Text 43. I promise to give her a benediction, and this promise cannot be violated. But Indra does not deserve to be killed. In these circumstances, the solution I have is quite suitable.
So who is speaking these lines? Yeah, Kashyapa. And he is in a pickle, like they say. So he is vowed to give a benediction to his wife. And what's his wife's name? Diti. And then what did she ask for? A son to kill Indra. So now he's figuring out he cannot go back on his vows, and at the same time he has to give a benediction in such a way that it's beneficial for everybody. So he finally has a solution in this verse. This is our focus verse for today. We'll read the translation and then come back to the purport. Okay, continue.
Sri Sukadev Goswami said, Kasyapa Muni, thinking in this way, became somewhat angry. Condemning himself, O Maharaj Parikshit, descendant of Kuru, he spoke to Diti as follows.
Kashyapa Muni said, My dear gentle wife, if you follow my instructions regarding this vow for at least 1 year, you will surely get a son who will be able to kill Indra. However, if you deviate from this vow of following the Vaishnava principles, you will get a son who will be favorable to Indra.
Yeah, we just went through this, right? They wanted to kill Indra and they got Vritrasura. So, could be a repetition if she didn't do it properly. Okay?
Text 46. Diti replied, My dear Brahmana, I must accept your advice and follow the vow. Now let me understand what I have to do, what is forbidden, and what will not break the vow. Please clearly state all this to me.
Yeah. She was so determined, Diti, to beget a son who could kill Indra, that she wanted to know everything about it. Give me what I have to do so that I can get the son to kill Indra. So she wanted all the details from Kashyapa Muni so that she could follow her vow. Okay?
Kashyapa Muni said, "My dear wife, to follow this vow, do not be violent or cause harm to anyone. Do not curse anyone and do not speak lies. Do not cut your nails and hair and do not touch impure things like skulls and bones."
Yeah. Actually, Prabhupada makes a very important point here. So this is his first instruction, right? Can you scroll up a little bit to the, yeah. So what is the main theme of the first instruction, do you think, from the translation? Not to cause harm. Yeah, Prabhupada says this is Kashyapa's first instruction, and the first instruction is to not be envious. Because this is the place that she is coming from, you know. And who is Indra to Diti? Does anybody know? Yeah, practically is. I mean, it's a double relationship in the sense it's her sister's son, but at the same time, the sister is the co-wife. So practically, he's the stepson too. So he's practically his son, her son. So, and she's envious of her own son. And the incredible thing here is she is not envious of who actually. So why did she ask for that benediction? Does anybody know? Why did she ask for a son to kill Indra? What prompted it? One. Huh? Mitrasura, no. What does the Bhagavatam say? Yeah. Did Indra kill them? Yeah. But her wrath is towards whom?
Towards Indra.
Yeah. So she was really disappointed with her sons being killed, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And yet, she was not angry on Vishnu. She was angry on Indra. Because she knew that Lord Vishnu acted in very neutral terms because of how Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu actually behaved. But yet, she had this incredible vengeful attitude that she couldn't suppress, that she came to Kashyapa Muni and asked for this benediction. So, Kashyapa Muni first wanted to get rid of that aspect. If of all the qualities that we have in this material world, we say we can dovetail it in Krishna consciousness, right? If you have some desire, you can add Krishna to it and then purify that desire. But envy is one that is impossible to dovetail. You have to get rid of that quality. So this was his first instruction is you should not be envious. And these are the things that help one to not be envious on somebody. Okay, at least the first aspects. Cut your nails and hair is different, but the first few instructions.
Text 48. Kashyapa Muni continued, "My dear gentle wife, never enter the water while bathing. Never be angry, and do not even speak or associate with wicked people. Never wear clothes that have not been properly washed, and do not put on a garland that has already been worn."
Never eat leftover food. Never eat prasad offered to the goddess Kali, Durga. And do not eat anything contaminated by flesh or fish. Do not eat anything brought or touched by a Shudra, nor anything seen by a woman in her menstrual period. Do not drink water by joining your palms.
After eating, you should not go out to the street without having washed your mouth, hands, and feet. You should not go out in the evening or with your hair loose, nor should you go out unless you are properly decorated with ornaments. You should not leave the house unless you are very grave and are sufficiently covered.
You should not lie down without having washed both of your feet or without being purified, nor with wet feet or with your head pointed west or north. You should not lie naked or with other women or during the sunrise or sunset.
putting on washed clothing, being always pure, and being adorned with turmeric, sandalwood, pulp, and other auspicious items. Before breakfast, one should worship the cows, the brahmanas, the goddess of fortune, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, so far he's been saying the don'ts, and here he's saying what she should do, right? And this is, Prabhupada says, Vedic culture, in the sense that where the cows and the brahmanas are worshipped. And Prabhupada says, for any spiritually advanced civilization, cow is really important. Why? Do you have a mic? Yeah. So the items for offering in a sacrifice are coming from the cow. What else? Yes. Milk, she said. Did you? Prabhupada Priyamataji?
There's some whatever nutrients in milk that nourish the fine tissues of the brain, so people can actually understand transcendental subject matters.
Yeah.
Without that, people remain dull and they don't get it.
Yeah, this is a very important aspect of the cow, is that the milk has incredible potency, and it can really empower us to dive deeper into the spiritual subject matters. So cows are a very important aspect, and Krishna is called Govinda also. Govinda means one who gives pleasure to the cows. So like that, cows are very important to any civilized society. And then now the brahmanas, why are they important? Yeah, they instruct society. In the Virat Purusha, the brahmanas are considered to be the head, or rather the mouth of the Lord, right? They spread the instructions of the Lord to everybody for their own welfare. So the cows and the brahmanas are very, very dear. Gro brahmana hitayacha, Krishna is said as. Okay, and of course the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself.
With flower garlands, sandalwood pulp, ornaments and other paraphernalia, a woman following this vow should worship women who have sons and whose husbands are living. The pregnant wife should worship her husband and offer him prayers. She should meditate upon him, thinking that he is situated in her womb.
Jasha.
Kashyapa Muni continued, if you perform this ceremony called Pumsavana, adhering to the vow with faith for at least 1 year, you will give birth to a son destined to kill Indra. But if there is any discrepancy in the discharge of this vow, the son will be a friend to Indra.
Yeah. So the entire procedure that he was saying was called a ceremony called Pumsavana.
O King Parikshit, Diti, the wife of Kashyapa, agreed to undergo the perfectory process known as Pumasshava. Yes, she said, I shall do everything according to your instructions. With great jubilation, she became pregnant, having taken semen from Kashyapa, and faithfully began discharging the vow.
O king, who are respectful to everyone, Indra understood Diti's purpose, and thus he contrived to fulfill his own interest. Following the logic that self-reservation is the first law of nature, he wanted to break Diti's promise. Thus he engaged himself in the service of Diti, his aunt, who was residing in an ashrama.
So the main principle of evolution that Darwin says, you know what that is? Survival of the fittest, right? What the Bhagavatam says here is also, I thought, was very similar. The first law of nature, it says, is self-preservation. Somehow you try to survive. But the way Darwin explains survival is drastically different from how you will see Indra acted. In the Darwinian way, how does the survival of the fittest happen? Yeah, the weaker sections of the society are practically killed by the stronger section of the society. And we'll see how Indra went about preserving himself, right? Please continue.
Indra served his aunt daily by bringing flowers, fruits, roots, and wood for yagyas from the forest. He also brought kusha grass, leaves, sprouts, earth, and water exactly at the proper time.
Does this sound like self-preservation? Continue. But he was not done yet.
58. O King Parikshit, as the hunter of a deer becomes like a deer by covering his body with deer skin and serving the deer, so Indra, although at heart the enemy of the sons of Diti, became outwardly friendly and served Diti in a faithful way. Indra's purpose was to cheat Diti as soon as he could find some fault in the way she discharged the vows of the ritualistic ceremony. However, he wanted to be undetected, and therefore he served her very carefully.
The principle he was going with was keep your friends closer, keep your friends close, and enemies closer. He was trying to find a way in, you know. He was waiting for the time when she would actually somehow fault in all the procedure that Kashyapa Muni had given her, and then find a way in. Okay?
59 or?
Yeah.
Okay. O master of the entire world, when Indra could find no faults, he thought, how will there be good fortune for me? Thus he was full of deep anxiety.
Yeah, she was really determined to follow the vows that she had taken. Oh, careful.
Text 60. Having grown weak and thin because of strictly following the principles of the vow, Diti once unfortunately neglected to wash her mouth, hands, and feet after eating and went to sleep during the evening twilight.
Finding this fault, Indra, who has all the mystic powers, the yoga siddhis such as Anima and Lakima, entered Diti's womb while she was unconscious, being fast asleep.
Yeah. So Anima is this mystical power where you can become really small and then get in to really small places. I mean, you can get in practically everywhere.
After entering Diti's womb, Indra, with the help of his thunderbolt, cut into 7 pieces her embryo, which appeared like glowing gold. In 7 places, 7 different living beings began crying. Indra told them, "Do not cry," and then he cut each of them into 7 pieces again.
I mean, I found this really tragic or funny when I was reading this. He was going to kill them, and then he had already cut them. And then they're really crying. And he says, "Don't cry, I'll cut you more." That's basically what he did. You know. Continue.
O king, being very much aggrieved, they pleaded to Indra with folded hands, saying, "Dear Indra, we are the Maruts, your brothers. Why are you trying to kill us?"
Yeah.
When Indra saw that they actually were his devoted followers, he said to them, "If you are all my brothers, you have nothing more to fear from me."
Yeah. Why was Indra pacified? Yeah, they were his friends now. They're his brothers. So he was pacified that, okay, they're not going to really kill me. So let's go to the purport and then the verse. Pratishrutam dadhamiti vachastanna mrisha bhavet vadam narhati chendropi tatredham upakalpate pratishrutam dadhamiti vachastanna mrisha bhavet vadam narhati chendropi tatredham upakalpate. Please chant. Pratishrutam dadamiti vachastanna mrisha bhavet vadham narhati chendropi tatredham upakalpate. Pratishrutam dadhamiti Vachastanna mrisha bhavet. Vadham narhati chendropi. Tatredham upakalpate. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We can do the word for word together. Pratishrutam, promised. Dadami, I shall give. Iti, thus. Vacha, statement. Tat, that. Na, not. Mrisha, false. Bhavet, can be. Vadham, killing. Na, not. Arhati, is suitable. Cha, and. Indraha, Indra. Api, also. Tatra, in that connection. Idam, this. Upakalpate, is suitable. Translation. I promised to give her a benediction, and this promise cannot be violated. But Indra does not deserve to be killed. In these circumstances, the solution I have is quite suitable. Purport. Kashyapa Muni concluded, Diti is eager to have a son who can kill Indra, since she is a woman, after all, and is not very intelligent. I shall train her in such a way that instead of always thinking of how to kill Indra, she will become a Vaishnava, a devotee of Krishna. If she agrees to follow the rules and regulations of the Vaishnava principles, the unclean core of her heart will certainly be cleansed. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. This is the process of devotional service. Anyone can be purified by following the principles of devotional service in Krishna consciousness, for Krishna consciousness is so powerful that it can purify even the dirtiest class of men and transform them into the topmost Vaishnavas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement aims at this purpose. Narottam Das Thakur says, Vrajendra Nandana Jai Shachi Shuta Hoilo She Balaram Hoilo Nitai Dina Hina Jata Chilo Hari Nama Udharilo Tara Shaki Jagai Madai. The appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Kali Yuga is especially meant to deliver the fallen souls who are always planning something for material enjoyment. He gave the people of this age the advantage of being able to chant the Hare Krishna mantra and thus become fully pure, free from all material contamination. Once one becomes a pure Vaishnava, he transcends all material conceptions of life. Thus, Kashyapa Muni tried to transform his wife into a Vaishnavi so that she might give up the idea of killing Indra. He wanted both her and her sons to be purified so that they would be fit to become pure Vaishnavas. Of course, sometimes a practitioner deviates from the Vaishnava principles and there is a chance that he may fall down. But Kashyapa Muni taught that even if one falls while practicing the Vaishnava principles, he is still not a loser. Even a fallen Vaishnava is eligible for better results as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even practicing the Vaishnava principles to a small extent can save one from the greatest danger of material existence. Thus, Kashyapa Muni planned to instruct his wife Diti to become a Vaishnava because he wanted to save the life of Indra. So there is one thing that is common between what's happening here and what happened before. Can anybody know? The reason why Diti wanted to have a son to kill Indra was because Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were killed, right? And when she did this particular rigorous practice, she fell also. I mean, when she brought about Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu also, it was a big disaster. But there was something common in both of these. Does anybody recognize what was common? We read this in the translation. Nanda Prabhu, you had something to say? She was not able to take good instruction. Okay, she was not able to take good instruction. What else? Indra was to be saved in both cases. Actually, she had a revengeful mentality, but the first time was not really revenge. She just was envious of her sister. Her sister had sons and she wanted sons, and Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were born. But both of the times, the problematic time was during the twilight period. that's where she fell this time also. She was really trying to follow the vows, but the chance that Indra got was when she slept at twilight. And she was not clean and she slept at twilight. And the instance when Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were born was she wanted to get into union with her husband in the twilight period. But you can see how drastic the end results were in the first case and in the second case. In both the cases, she fell, right? She did something that she was not supposed to do. And in the first instance, what happened as a result was pus and blood was raining. Right? And we had two of the most powerful demons that the world has ever seen in Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu being born to Diti. And what happened in this case? She fell, right? And Indra was able to go and dissect her embryo. But what happened here? Was it the same result? Yeah. In this case, the Maruts were born, right? The devotees were born from her womb. So what was the difference? She fell at the same time, but still the difference here was drastically different from what happened in the first instance. No. Because despite, this is the key, right? Yeah. Exactly. In this case, what she was doing was devotional service. In the first instance, what she was doing was not devotional service. So this is what the Bhagavatam says, right? The Bhagavatam says, Akama sarva kamova moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. That akama, you don't have any desires, or sarva kama, you have all the desires. And in this case, this was her desire, isn't it? And this was not in fact a great desire to have also. But she had this really deep desire to have a son who could actually kill Indra. Akama sarva kamova moksha kama udarati. Even if we have desires for liberation. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. Bhagavatam says. If we perform devotional service, in any instances, the best thing to do is to perform devotional service. And in this, we can see the classic case of how devotional service can actually transform some desire that was completely not proper at all and result in something incredible. In the later sections, we will see how Diti's heart and Indra's heart are both transformed, and how her practicing devotional service is actually influencing people around her. The person who actually came to kill her embryo, she forgives him. Both of them openly speak about why they came. She says, I begot a child so that I wanted to kill you. And he says, I came so that I didn't want to be killed. I wanted to kill your embryo. So this is the transformative effect of devotional service. That irrespective of what kind of desires we have, if we perform devotional service, it can completely purify our desires. In fact, it was the opposite this time of what Nanda Braja Prabhu was saying, right? She didn't take proper instructions the first time. She wanted to do it. She wanted to have a child. And then Kashyapa Muni said, this is not the right time, But then she coaxed him into having a child. And then Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. But this time, she really wanted to go by what he wanted. I have this desire, but she came to Kashyapa Muni and said, I really have this desire. You have to satisfy this desire for me. She didn't try to do it in the ways that she thought was right. In this instance, this was a redeeming quality in this instance, is that although she had this horrible desire to kill somebody, she went and spoke to somebody who she thought was her well-wisher. And in this instance, Kashyapa Muni was really her well-wisher, right? He was in a soup. The Bhagavatam says he was really angry at what he had done. This was the second instance in which he was really going off track. He gave a benediction to Diti when he shouldn't have given a benediction. And yet he was trying to salvage this situation. And he was thinking, how is it that we can somehow, like Prabhupada says, make the best use of a bad bargain? And the solution that he came up with was to somehow instruct her into performing devotional service. And his logic was, even if she is not able to complete it, right? Even if she is not able to perfectly do everything that I'm saying, it will still be beneficial to her. This is Prabhupada quoting in the Bhagavad Gita in his purport, right? Krishna says, Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahatopayat. That there is no loss or diminution in this process of devotional service. That even if we perform a little bit, you can see the effect that it had in this instance, right? Diti's heart was transformed. Indra's heart was transformed. And the children that she begot were nowhere close to Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. In fact, they were the Maruts. They were demigods that were born out of her womb when she was performing devotional service. So this is the transformational effect that devotional service has. And especially in the age that we are in, the right way to perform devotional service is what? Chant the holy names of the Lord. Chant Hare Krishna. This is Prabhupada quoting Narottam Das Thakur in his famous song. What is this song that he's quoting? Does anybody know? He gives the third verse of this song, but yeah, Hari Hari Bipale Janama Gonainu. This was Prabhupada's one of his favorite songs. He sang this very often, gave I think like 4 or 5 purports to this song. So this is Narottam Das Thakur that he is quoting. And here, Prabhupada is giving the example of how transformative devotional service can be. Dina hina jata chilo, hari nama udharilo. That the Harinam, the holy names of the Lord, can cleanse or save even the most wretched. Dina hina, the lowest, and hina means the cruelest, right, of people. And the example that he gave in the song is Tara Shaki, Jagai Madai. This is the proof. Jagai and Madai are the proof that Harinam can even save the worst and worst of the worst. So this is what exactly happened in this instance, is that devotional service completely transformed the most horrible intentions that Diti had. And in fact, it gave such a nice result. And before we open up for questions, I wanted to also speak today about, it's so amazing, the coincidence. Today is also the appearance day of Narottam Das Thakur. And Prabhupada is quoting one of the most famous songs of Narottam Das Thakur in his purport that we are focusing today. So Narottam Das Thakur is a Sampradaya Acharya in our disciplic succession of Gaudiya Vaishnava disciplic succession. So who is a Sampradaya Acharya? Does anybody know? If you see the Bhagavad Gita, if you read the introduction, the last page of the introduction lists the disciplic succession. Right? It starts all the way from Krishna to Prabhupada. And the time period is what? About 5,000 years, you can say. And give or take. About. And the number of people you have is how many? 31, I think. You have just 31 people listed for 5,000 years. And these 31 people are given incredible prominence. It doesn't mean there were no gurus that were existing. Because we say this is an unbroken disciplic succession, it means there were always, that the disciplic succession was not broken. It was always, the gurus were always there. But what is so special about these 31 people that are listed there? Yes, can you pass a mic to Nanda Braja Prabhu?
From my understanding, is a Sampradaya Acharya is able to defeat all other philosophies that are given at that time.
Yes.
And establish that Gaudiya Vaishnava or Vaishnavism is the highest.
Yes.
Truth.
Yes. This is one of the aspects of the Sampradaya Acharya, is that he is able to defeat the philosophy of his time and establish the Vaishnava principles. And also, one of the main qualities is that he is able to synthesize all the teachings of the previous Acharyas. And this you can very clearly see in Srila Prabhupada's books. Right? This was what was incredible when Haldar Maharaj was here. He was reading through the prayers of Queen Kunti. And what he was doing was he was reading the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And then going back to Srila Prabhupada's purport. And he was saying how Prabhupada's purport had everything that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was saying. If we go and read Jiva Goswami's commentary, I'm sure if we come back to Srila Prabhupada's commentary, he would have all of Jiva Goswami's commentary also. So the Sampradaya Acharya is able to synthesize everything that the previous Acharyas had told into his commentary, and is able to establish the Vaishnava principles at really dire situations. You know, this was what Bhaktivinoda Thakur did. Practically at the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaudiya Vaishnavas were in hiding. You know, we didn't have a very good image just even 200 years back because of all the different ways in which the philosophy was being misinterpreted and not practiced in the right way. So Narottam Das Thakur was one such exalted personality. He was so exalted that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was going near this river called Padmavati, this is in Bangladesh, he saw this river and started shouting, Narottam, Narottam, Narottam in great ecstasy. And everybody in this party didn't know what was happening because there was nobody called Narottam at that time in the party that was traveling with Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu told that there will be a great devotee that will be born called Narottam, for whom I am going to actually leave the prema, the love of God, deposited with this river Padmavati. So Mahaprabhu gave the essence of love of Godhead to Padmavati river and told, Narottam will come and take a dip in your river and then please give this to him. This was Narottam Das Thakur. And by the time, and we can relate with Narottam Das Thakur in so many different ways, because by the time Narottam Das Thakur grew up, most of the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had left the planet. You can see this in his song that he writes, right? Jayanilo Premadana, Karuna Prachur. He is asking, where are all these devotees? Because as a young boy, he was the son of a king. And when all the devotees from that area, this place called Keturi. That's the place that Narottam Das Thakur was raised in. The devotees from Keturi would go to Jagannath Puri during the Rath Yatra to meet with Mahaprabhu. And when they came back, Narottam Das Thakur would hear about Mahaprabhu and all his associates. He was so attracted to all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu himself that he was so eager to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But when the time came that he was able to somehow escape his home and go to Vrindavan, most of the associates of Mahaprabhu had actually left the planet. Jiva Goswami was there. His spiritual master Lokanath Goswami was of course there. The Guru Puja song that we sing is from Narottam Das Thakur. Right? The Lokanath Lokera Jivana that we sing is his spiritual master that he's talking about. So, like, very few associates of Mahaprabhu were left. And similarly, like in my case, I was born a few years after Prabhupada had left the planet. So, throughout my life, our recognition of Prabhupada was, oh, we missed him by such a short time. No? So, this was Narottam Das Thakur's mood also, is that just by a few years, he had missed Mahaprabhu and all his associates. And yet, he was always in touch with them. This is the beauty of devotional service, right? Even if we might not have actually been physically in contact with Srila Prabhupada in this lifetime, Prabhupada is still present in all his books. And what Narottam Das Thakur did for Gaudiya Vaishnavism was actually very important and incredible, because after Mahaprabhu and all his associates had left the planet, there was actually a division among the Gaudiya Vaishnavas to figure out who was the supreme. Was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the supreme? Was Nityananda Prabhu the supreme? Was Advaita Acharya the supreme? Everybody was saying, oh, if you have to follow Advaita Acharya, you have to follow Nityananda Prabhu. There was different sects that were starting to form. And what Narottam Das Thakur did was he had this huge festival called the Festival of Keturi, where he invited all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas there. And had this incredible festival, and one of the most prominent Gaudiya Vaishnavas or Vaishnavis of that time was Jhanava Mata. She was the consort of Nityananda Prabhu. She was also present there. So he invited her also. And in that big meeting of all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, all our philosophy was clearly and properly explained on how Mahaprabhu is the supreme, and how as Gaudiya Vaishnavas we are followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and so on and so forth. And Narottam Das Thakur was actually famous for his kirtans and bhajans. He actually, they say, had his own style of kirtan, which is unfortunately, we don't know of that style. That style has been lost, his kirtan style. But he had this incredible style of kirtan that he had created. And when Narottam Das Thakur was actually performing kirtan in this huge assembly of Keturi, miraculously the Panchatattva appeared there. They were no more on the planet, but Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu and Advaitacharya, and everybody were there, and everybody could perceive their presence. This was how powerful Narottam Das Thakur's songs were. And Prabhupada says, even if we don't understand a word of Narottam Das Thakur's songs, because it's all Bengali, right? Most of us might not understand Bengali. It has such transformative power. Just by hearing and singing the songs of Narottam Das Thakur, our hearts can get transformed. This is how incredibly potent Narottam Das Thakur's writings were. And Prabhupada says these are non-different from Vedic principles, the songs that Narottam Das Thakur wrote. And this was the most incredible thing about Narottam Das Thakur, was he was taking the highest principles mentioned in our scriptures and putting it in songs that were easily accessible to lay people in the Bengal area, Bengal and Orissa area. This was an acharya again, right? Like Prabhupada, this is what he would do. He would take incredibly difficult concepts that Jiva Goswami would say and put it in terms that modern world can understand. Like how the body is like a car and the soul is the driver. So there were no automobiles in Jiva Goswami's time. So his example was for his time. But then Prabhupada put these examples in ways that we could understand. So Narottam Das Thakur did it in similar ways, where he took all the high philosophy of our scriptures and put it in songs that had the same incredible depth, but was accessible to everybody in his songs. So this is Narottam Das Thakur. So today is his appearance day, the day of incredible mercy, where we can pray to Narottam Das Thakur that we can have some taste for the holy names, right? Dina hina jata chilo, hari nama udarilo. This is our practice for this age, is chanting the holy names of the Lord. And it has this incredible transformative power. And if we have the mercy of devotees, then we can chant the holy names nicely and eventually taste the pure holy names. So we'll stop here, and if there are any questions or comments, we can take that, or reflections. Can you pass the mic? Oh. I think if we have to sing, we can sing this song that Prabhupada is quoting, Hari Hari Bipale. But we'll see if there are any questions or comments. Yes? Can you? What? Gadan Hati? The style of the kirtan that he created is called Gadan Hati. Gokulananda Prabhu's. It's in Bangladesh. The Keturi village is in the Bangladesh area. So many acharyas were born in Bangladesh. Okay. Yes, Drishtadimna Prabhu. It's right behind you.
Yeah. I was the story with Diti and Lord Indra is very very out there. And I was wondering, yeah, like it seems that Indra was more demoniac than Diti in my opinion, because he was, committing infanticide or something like that. And I guess I was if there's envy between two persons, they practice bhakti and kind of the result is good at the end?
Yeah,
or,
exactly. That's what's going to happen. This is what's incredible about devotional service, right? If you have envy and if you're not performing devotional service, then what you're going to become is like Hiranyakashipu. right? I mean, this is like feeding ghee to fire. If you're going to prop up this quality of envy, it can practically destroy everything. It can destroy us, it can destroy everything around us. But the incredible transformative power of devotional service is that although her desire was from an envious perspective, because she was performing devotional service, the desire was completely transformed. Diti, this was Kashyapa's desire also, right? I'm going to try to give her a process in which it can transform her, make her a pure Vaishnavi, Prabhupada says in the purport. And even if she doesn't become one and fails in the process, there is no loss in the process. Because Krishna says you continue from where you left off. And this is the line that Prabhupada would always say, right? There is no material solutions to material problems. Envy is a material problem. And if you try to somehow fix it with material solutions, it just doesn't work. The only way to fix it is through spiritual solutions. Yeah. Can you use the mic?
To his wife to perform devotional service, can we then assume that he's actually a Vaishnava because he's acting in capacity of a guru,
yes,
instructing his wife?
Yes. Kashyapa is a very exalted personality, you know.
I think there was some question like that yesterday about it, right?
Yeah, it is from him. Like every progeny that comes is from Diti and Aditi in this universe, right? Kashyapa is so powerful that he is able to beget demigods. But this is the thing with Vedic culture, is that everything is very scientific, right? If you want to beget a son, if you want to beget a good progeny, there are ways in which you can do it. If you want to beget Varna Shankaras, like you call, there are ways in which you could do it. So, yeah, it's the same person, but the circumstance can completely alter how things happen. Yeah. Yeah, Kashyapa Gotra is there. He's one of the, Kashyapa Muni, and you can see it from his behavior here, right? He could have as well rebuked Diti, but then what he was trying to do was, this was another thing I wanted to say, is from a practical perspective for all of us, we might have so many material desires, right? One way that we might go about doing it is suppressing it and say, or even saying, completely avoiding it and saying, I don't even have that desire. The other thing is recognizing it and trying to suppress it. But what Diti did here was the most honest thing that anybody could do. Hey, I really have this desire. But her redeeming quality was that she went to a superior who could actually guide her in ways that such a desire could be transformed. This was the incredible thing that Kashyapa could do to Diti. Right? If all of us can be true about our desires and go to our superiors to find ways in which we can transform those desires, then that will be for our benefit. Just how beneficial it was for Diti. And this is what Kashyapa was able to do. That he was able to incredibly transform her desire. Yeah, she knew, this is what it is, right? He knew so intimately about her. This is what is required of somebody who could be our mentor also. Is that the Guhya Makyati Pruchiti can happen only in these terms, right? This is something that she's opening her heart to, right? If anybody she would have said this to would have been so judgmental about it, like, what is this nonsense that you're speaking about? You want to beget somebody to kill another person and all of that, and rebuked her. And then nothing would have happened to that material desire. It would have still existed. She would have tried to do it in her own ways and it would have resulted in calamities. But then this person was so mature that he could see the person for who she was and knew that what she wanted was not right, but gave her ways in which she could actually get from that position to a completely higher, different platform. This was Kashyapa, right? This is why he's such an exalted personality, that he was able to do it. This is like the quality of a preacher, is that they are able to know where the person that they are preaching to comes from and is able to take them from that platform to completely higher platform. Yeah. Okay, if there are no more questions, or yes, Mother Kunti. Oh, Shiva. I think it's 8:30 now, and if devotees want to leave, I think they should go for breakfast. And we can sing the song if whoever wants to be here. We can. And Gokulananda Prabhu sings so well. I think he should sing. Yeah. Can you help her out? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. The first verse that was quoted about the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I think that we need to emphasize that a little more, that it was written that he, here, I had it marked right here.
Okay.
The Vrajendra Nandana Ye, Sachi Sutta Hoila She,
Yeah.
Balaramahal Ila Nigtai,
Yeah.
Dinahina Yata Chila, Hari Nama Udarila, Tare Shakshi Jagai Madai. So Srila Prabhupada was saying, the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Kali Yuga is especially meant to deliver the fallen souls who are always planning something for material enjoyment.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for bringing up this point. This is Mahaprabhu. He's Krishna himself, but in this incarnation, he's so merciful. He's so merciful that he's helping us out, people in this Kali Yuga. Prabhupada is always after some material enjoyment. And in this case, Diti was thinking this could actually satisfy her, killing Indra. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, we can quickly sing the song. Can somebody who's here control the laptop? Just scroll up if it's possible. Or you can give me the laptop and I can do it. Actually, you could wirelessly, I'll show it. Drisha, if you could wirelessly connect the next time, laptop, no? Not now, but the next time, then we can move it around. Yeah, can you? You can come. They can go for breakfast. It's better I'm able, yeah. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Gonainu Manushya Janama Paya Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya Manushya Janama Paya Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya Janiya Shuniya Bisha Koino Janiya Shuniya Bisha Koino Golokera prema dhana Harinama sankirtana Ratina janme loke netai Ratina janme loke netai samshara bishanale dibanishi ajwale. Juraite na koi no pai. Juraite na koi no pai. Brajendra Nandana Jai Sachi Suta Hoilo She. Brajendra Nandana Jai Sachi Suta Hoilo She. Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Balaram hoilo nitai. Dina hina jata chilo hari name udarilo. Dina hina jata chilo hari name udarilo. Tara Shaki Jagai Madai. Tara Shaki Jagai Madai. Ha ha Prabhu Nanda Sutta Vrishabhanu Sutta Juta. Ha ha Prabhu Nanda Sutta Vrishabhanu Sutta Juta. Karuna koro e baro. Karuna koro e baro. Narottama dasa koi na teli ho ranga paaya. Narottama dasa koi na teli ho ranga paaya. Tuma bin ke ache tuma amara. Tuma bin ke ache amara. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur. Jaya Narottam Das Thakur, Narottama Das Thakur, Narottama Das Thakur, Narottama Das. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Narottam Das Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We'll quickly read the translation. O Lord Hari, I have spent my life uselessly, having obtained a human birth and having not worshipped Radha and Krishna, knowingly drunk poison. The treasure of divine love in Goloka Vrindavan has descended as the congregational chanting of Lord Hari's holy names. Why did my attraction for that chanting never come about? Day and night my heart burns from the fire of the poison of worldliness, and I have not taken the means to relieve it. Lord Krishna, who is the son of the king of Raja, became the son of Shachi, Lord Chaitanya, and Balaram became Nitai. The holy name delivered all those souls who were lowly and wretched. The two sinners, Jagai and Madai, are evidence of this. O Lord Krishna, son of Nanda, accompanied by the daughter of Rishabhanu, please be merciful to me now. Narottam Das says, O Lord, please do not push me away from your reddish lotus feet, for who is my beloved except for you? Shri Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda